Early October brings an ebb and flow of decision-making for hunters, often hinging on a single factor, the weather forecast. So far, the first 2 days of the month offer a taste of both extremes. Cool snaps that signal fall's rapid approach and warmth that lingers like a final whisper of summer. It's a reminder that change can come at any time, and plans must remain as flexible as the season itself. Following Owen Reigler and Joe Noble's epic celebration on the night of October 2nd, the following day, 249 miles to the southwest in Kansas, Nolan Redeker is back in the woods before the evening shift.
Well guys, I'm kind of dropped the ball here. Wish I'd have known this a little earlier. I just got pictures of Kirk here last week on the 10-acre piece where I killed the big 9 last year, but came out to this piece that I hunt just a little bit to the west, and these scrapes are getting destroyed right out here. So I got the tracks on it, got a stand in this hedge right here, so I've never seen scrapes like this out here, especially this early, so hopefully that means there's a big old mature buck that's been staying out here. Be a pretty sweet spot to shoot one, so we'll see what shows up on the camera.
With Kirk back on the radar, Nolan's excitement for his season skyrockets. Between acquiring his first property as a landowner in the Buck 40, hunting Kirk, and most importantly spending time in the stand with his dad, 2024 is sure to be a fun ride. The following day, back in Iowa, the morning of October 4th sees the first rain in over a month pushing through, delivering much needed moisture to the state.
All right, well here it is, October 4th, just getting ready to head out the door. Short night of sleep, was up pretty late talking to my buddy Kurt Geyer. Luckily, he kept me up later than I anticipated because I had no idea it was supposed to rain last night. And I mean, it rained for probably a solid 30, 45 minutes. So I ran outside, got all my stuff that I left in the tailgate. But the point of me sharing that is because what we're going to hunt this morning is that new mock scrape that I made. You can watch this progression, you know, went there, created the 2 different dirt scrapes, rubbed the every column on the 2 limbs, trimmed those out, and they're being hit constantly. And hopefully this rain, those bucks are gonna be up on their feet, higher pressure this morning, northeast winds, and maybe they're gonna wanna make the rounds. And I think if we got a chance to see the big deer daylight for the first time, this morning is it. He has not daylighted on the property once, and I gotta think he's somewhat a dominant buck in the area. So excited to see how it goes, and hopefully this morning is the start to a very good day. He didn't walk by, did he?
No.
Seen anything?
Nope.
Well, good morning. Not what I expected, but we're all set up. Trying to figure out where that buck came from in those photos. And I thought he came from the CRP based on what they look like. Just happened to peek up towards the truck, and I see flashing lights. Earlier we saw somebody walking with a flashlight, just kind of going back and forth. And then 30 minutes later, 2 cop cars. Very nice folks. The ladies got me my ID and made me turn my truck around, and here we are. So, wasn't too bad. How long was I gone? 10 minutes? 15 minutes?
Maybe 10, yeah.
Got a swig of coffee, and life's good. So, now let's hope we see a deer. Need to like ozone myself. most ideal hunt that we've definitely ever had, but it was still a beautiful morning, gorgeous, and you know, we took our shot. It's gonna be the last one we take for a little bit pertaining to this piece of property. I wanna give it a break. We've hunted it 3 different times now, and we just snuck in. I had tracks up the way here that I set about a week ago, and where we filmed that buck with all the tines was right on the side of this bean field. This stand that we hung 2 nights ago in those strong south winds, this is that cottonwood draw. Stands right there. And I wanted to move this tracks. And there's a huge trail right here. The stand's 15 yards, 10 yards. It Y's right up there. So I think this is gonna be a great late October, November spot. Overall, like I said, fun day. Those police officers were super nice. Shout out to all of our first responders. And you know, they were able to take care of the confusion pretty quickly and wished me a good hunt. But minor adjustments, hopefully for a big yield. The rest of the week, I think we're gonna focus on going and hunting potentially with Joy, kind of just see how the cards fall, and I'm excited about this spot. I think we're gonna get some good photos here. October's off to a good start.
Though not the hunt I envisioned when taking a risky shot so early in the season, the scenario I was hoping for unfolded for much of our team in various parts of Iowa. Scrapes were active all morning as bucks made their rounds, freshening up their communication after the much-needed rains. That same day, 123 miles to the east, Mike Reed is just getting off of work, back on the new property, continuing to tackle his to-do list before the weekend.
It's Friday, October 4th. I just came out to the new farm to get the excavator. I busted a hose on this excavator working on putting crossings in. Youth season is ending on Sunday, so I'm going to try to take the kids out Saturday, Sunday this weekend. And then Sunday we have a front coming back through. So Sunday is going to be nice with the north wind. We did get an inch of rain last night, which, you know, we needed rain bad. We haven't had rain in 6 weeks. So I'm going to start, you know, picking and choosing some days to get out and make some sits for bucks, and also try to do a little doe management. But anyway, hopefully you guys are having some luck.
As Mike sets his immediate sights on the final 2 days of youth season hunting with family, the following day, 842 miles to the east in the state of New York, the same weather front has gone through, revealing bluebird skies. Much like the Reeds, longtime team members Phil and Kelly Scott have seen their shared love for the outdoors rooting deep within their family. During the 2023 season, Phil drew the lucky straw and tagged a great buck in late October. Now, 11 months later, it's Kelly who's behind the bow, focused on a framey buck nicknamed Shug.
Shug was a no-show, but we had a really cool encounter with an 8-point that's been running with him. He's a younger deer. He's going to be a lot of fun to watch grow up and see what he turns into. There's just so many acorns hitting the ground right now. It's a crapshoot as to where these deer are and how they're moving. So happy opening day in New York, and I hope everybody had a great night.
With one sit for the deer under their belt already, October 5th sees Kelly on a solo mission to get it done.
Hi guys, welcome to Midwest Whitetail East Show. Up here at the land tonight, I am flying solo. Phil's home watching the boys. Up here trying to get after Shug again. It's a bluebird day. It's like 65 degrees. We have a northeast wind at essentially non-existent, like a 1 mile an hour. So I'm really counting on my thermals to just pull it right back down over this gully that I'm sitting on the edge of. We're set up kind of between the bedding area and a couple little food plots that we have up here. But really, I mean, there's so many acorns. You roll your ankle walking to the stand. So anything could happen on any night, it feels like right now. You know, we don't have a pattern on him or any of our other hit listers for that matter. So we're just getting out there, trying to enjoy it and see what happens. So hopefully it's a great night. Stay tuned.
Catching a glimpse of her first deer of the afternoon, Kelly remains on the edge of her stand, watching for the flash of antler. Back in Iowa, I'm also in the woods. As predicted, harvest has arrived and the beans on the big deer property are officially cut, shifting my immediate focus back to the big bird property, where 6x5 and drop tine call home.
All right, well, I just got here to the Big Bird farm. Long story short, what I'm doing is I'm gonna go walk this creek that the drop time buck is frequented. I haven't got pictures of him since September 14th, and while I understand it's fall shift, he could be anywhere, it is very strange to me based on historical evidence of how active he was on this farm, that he has not shown back up one time, hit a single scrape, whereas every other buck that was in here all summer and last year has kind of started to do that. So hopefully it turns up nothing. It's super windy today, so I figured with the south winds I could get in where I am right now and make this loop fast without really doing too much damage, because the 6x5 buck is in the general area. So we'll see. Hopefully we don't find him, but it's kind of eating at me, so I wanted to at least check it off the list of possibilities. Well, I'm gonna show you something that's never happened to me before. Look at this, like concrete. All right, got my first carcass. We've been there quite a while. It's a buck. It's not him, but it's a buck. That is definitely fresh. Not sure I recognize him per se, but young buck with a ton of potential, for sure. Golly. I'm gonna mark a pin right here. This is the part of the property where I would expect to find him, so we shall see. Man.
Despite no confirmation that drop tine is actually dead, my gut feeling remains the same that the buck is gone for good. Back in New York, the sun is beginning to set on Kelly's hunt.
I cannot believe that just happened. Whew, shaking a little. Okay. I can't even believe that just happened. He came in dogging a doe. It's October 5th. I didn't hear him crash. I thought the shot looked good. I'm gonna call Phil, get the boys out here, replay that shot. Hopefully it looks good. Whoa. Gotta be quiet, boys. All right, guys, we are back at the truck. Found the arrow. It broke off about halfway. Looks like 10 to 12 inches of penetration, good blood. Blood trail didn't look great, so we just backed out. Gonna call the dog, maybe a search party tomorrow morning. You know, I'm not gonna sleep. We're gonna watch it 15 times and we'll see how it looks and we'll go from there. All right, guys, we're back up here. It's about 8:30 in the morning. We have Ariel ready to do some tracking and see if we can find this buck. Phil and the boys are here. We're ready to roll. Hopefully it's an easy track job.
I get off boat.
I didn't see any either. I was looking the whole way. Right. What?
So your mom, good job.
Woohoo! All right, guys, here he is. I could not be more excited to have this deer. He has a ton of character. This was the second time we sat hunting him this year. First time was on opening day. We had that really nice 3-year-old come in. Shug was a no-show, but second sit came in October 5th. 65 degrees, bluebird day, dog and does, grunting right along. Gave me a 30-yard broadside shot. He didn't go very far, 75 or 100 yards. We had the history with him from last year. He came in and he was all busted up. So I don't know if he was a fighter or what, but man, he got tore up last year and came back looking pretty beautiful this year. So thank you to Phil for bringing Ariel over. Thanks to my Phil for dragging my deer out. And thanks for watching Midwest Whitetail.
Well, I've been waiting for this wind direction. I need a north, northwest, or just a northwest. But the trick is the wind speed's got to stay, 8 to 10 mile an hour. They're forecasting 7 there right at dark. So close. I think we can get away with it. It's going to be a little iffy there right at dark, but we do have 2 of the triggers, and that's one of the reasons I'm going hunting today. We have the wind direction switch, so it went from a south wind yesterday. Now it's north, northwest. And also we had a pretty good temp differential with temp drop. So yesterday was about 88, close to 90, and today's 72, 74. So pretty good drop, but still plenty warm. I don't expect it to just get crazy, but it's a pretty good spot. So it could get western, who knows. Pow, baby, pow. That's how you know I'm serious today. Got the rattling antlers with me. We mean business. Oh, I love these natives for getting in. It's almost like having corn. These things are up 5-6 feet. Provides you some pretty good cover to sneak in. Another couple 100 yards here. Let's sneak on in there. Well, here it is, October 6th. Nice and breezy right now. We got in clean. This wind kind of helps you get in, without being detective, obviously. But I think they're combining over here. It looks like just south of us, they're combining beans right here. So I don't know how that'll factor in, if that'll help us or hurt us, or maybe neither one, because it's kind of hidden down in here. But love this spot. I brought the compound with me today because this spot just doesn't set up really great for a recurve. I did shoot the Stickers buck right here, and he was super close. It was like 5 or 6 yards right there. So, but I feel like this spot could set up for a 30 or 40 yard shot just as easy too. So that's why I brought the compound to this spot. Love this area. I've gotten a couple pictures of a buck that's real wide, kind of short tined. I think that might be that floppy-eared buck we were looking for last year, but I just haven't had a good enough look to see if he's got a floppy ear. But so he could be in here, be looking for him, and then there's another 10 in here, looks pretty good. I'd like to see him in person, so heck of a spot. Again, we're close to cover. Early in the year, I love to be close to cover, so I'll bet we'll have some good tonight. We'll see some good deer, I bet. If we see less than 6 or 8 deer, I'll feel like we had a bad sit, so let's sit in here about 3 hours, see how it goes.
With the early deer movement, Owen keeps a watchful eye with what may be following. That same evening, 28 miles to the northwest, Drake Lamb and Justin Karns are making their first sit of the bow season.
After 5 o'clock here, Justin and I climbed in the redneck, had some longbeards come through, and I think 2 fawns over here, back here in this clover. I know everybody else is out tonight. Like I said, we had a little temperature drop. I wasn't really cold front, but from about 90 yesterday to, low 70s today. So running some northwest winds, basically looking straight north and then kind of east. So we're kind of cutting our wind off the point of this little green right here. The way this spot sets up, we got clover in the back that goes out to a bunch of ridges. It's all TSI'd in there. There's a pond over here to our east that I actually shot a deer, I think in 2018, that died in that pond. So it's just super good cover around here. Clover in the back, clover over this shoulder, little green right here, standing corn. It's kind of, everything that they need right here. Surrounded by natives, we snuck in the back right through the tall natives. Indian grass is shooting up right now, so Skip, me and Justin came in here, and some of this corn had been trashed by the coons and the deer before I got the fence on it, and just some of the edges just don't grow that well. So we brought the drill in, got the no huddle in here, so we've got some green right here. We just haven't had much rain, and that goes on to the next thing of EHD. Been hearing a lot of reports of EHD here the last couple days. Definitely over the weekend, more or less. It's been super dry. We got a little rain on Justin's farm a couple days ago, really, and that's been about the only thing since we planted food plots. So not good, not ideal, but hopefully it just stays away. But anyway, a couple bucks in here we're after. Not super regular, but they've shown that they're in here. So. See what happens tonight. Should be a good night nonetheless. So, kicking off season October 6th here, Southern Iowa.
Enjoying a perfect start to the afternoon, Drake watches on, hoping for a dream shot on the rub post. At the same time, 273 miles to the northeast, longtime team members Warren and Matt Dykstra are set up on their permission farm. A property that has delivered many exciting moments for the father-son duo, 2024 hasn't failed to deliver so far. After completing their normal summer prep, what moved in was one of the last things they expected. A curious black bear who has made his presence known in more places than one. On top of the bear, another exciting development comes in the form of a buck the guys call Angry, making his return. Following the epic showdown with the Decoy, the name stuck, and on the afternoon of October 6th, the guys are hoping for a repeat performance.
Welcome to Midwest Whitetail. It's the evening of October 6th. We're back up here on the main permission farm. That big change in temperature, we're hoping that'll get Angry to move, and he's the main deer we're after tonight. We've actually got pictures of him all along this edge right here. 3 different cutting links that we got set up on scrapes, and we've had him on all 3 of them. We're figuring he's bedded on these ridges, either right over here or a little bit to the south, depending on the wind. We got a decoy out in front of us. Actually, from where the decoy is, about 100 yards to the south is where we had him take out the decoy 2 years ago. So we know he likes this area. They picked the beans on like Wednesday or Thursday, so it's fairly fresh cut bean field. So we came up Thursday afternoon, moved the redneck out into the middle of the field, more up on the top. Now that we got it up here, not only can the deer from the south see the decoy, but the ones that came over to the northwest here also be able to see it. We're hoping that that'll really increase our chances of him seeing the decoy. He's just inside the timber there. Coming out, it's him for sure.
While Warren watches the great buck from afar, back in southern Iowa, the shadows are starting to get long on Owen's microplot.
He's huge. There's no doubt about it. rocking post up there.
Pinned down, Owen must wait for the cover of darkness to slip out of the great stand location. Back with Drake Lamb, the deer are continuing to move.
Coming right here, going. Be a giant.
Just had a really nice 4-year-old come right through, come to the corn, fed in this clover, and then worked out into the switchgrass behind us. Just checked the phone, and Charlie got one with his bow. We were out there, he was shooting earlier today when we were down there, hitting pretty good. So Charlie got the wide buck, which I filmed that deer just before youth season, laying out there in that alfalfa field, just a big old tank of a deer, big old mature deer. So once we get out of here, I think we may go on a little recovery. We'll see what happens. I'll take a skip, and fingers crossed Charlie got his first bow buck. That'd be freaking sweet. Awesome. Glad we're down here. About 30 minutes left here, so that was a busy night regardless. This deer could be a giant. Alright, well, we just got back to the truck. Had to wait in there for that deer with the stickers to come out, as you guys saw, or to clear out before we wanted to get out of there. And not sure on that deer. He came in right at last light, as you guys could tell, and we just, we didn't have that much time to gauge him and to figure out really what deer it was. It was getting dark, and just elected not to obviously shoot. And
go back and see, but we may have filmed that deer last year down in the Hornets. That's where I killed my 8-pointer last year. We may have had him come by the day that Justin was in the hot seat down there. So anyway, really good night out there. Most of the deer were in the clover, and then, you know, worked their way into the corn and, you know, kind of on to the west. So really good night nonetheless, but bigger things on the docket. Big Charlie shot his first deer with a bow tonight, so we're gonna go back, get the scoop from Skippy and Charlie, and then maybe on a blood trail here pretty quick. So good night. And there's a big 8 in there with stickers, kicker or whatever. He came in at like 35 out there. Groomed himself with another buck. Got a 6-footer.
Look at that. There's blood.
All right? Oh, yeah. Nice, buddy.
All right.
You seen blood shooting out of him when he was running?
Yeah.
Did he run into the field, or did he stay on which side of the post?
Couldn't tell. There's a tree right over there. I couldn't see.
Yep.
It's spraying pretty good. Starting to get a bunch of blood down here, down the hill. Hopefully we can find him.
Does the blood look good?
It really does.
Bunch of good blood right here.
Woo!
Look at that, dude. Look at that. Good job, buddy. First bow buck.
Dude.
Oh,
Harley. Dude. Let's go.
Think, bud.
Holy cow!
Look at that horse.
Dude.
Jeez.
That's a tank.
Charlie, I just got a text. Dinner's ready. I gotta get going. We're pretty far in here. I don't know, man. This is a young man's dragon game.
Dude, that is a
Good job,
tank.
buddy. Dude, that's a heck of a season.
All in about 2 weeks.
6th.
Charlie. Dude.
Dang, man.
That is a tank.
Holy cow!
Congrats, dude. That's a heck of a bow buck.
All the kids out there that think they can't shoot a bow and arrow, what do you think?
I think it just takes a lot of practice. That's what
Pretty doable though, isn't it? All right, so your first buck with a bow and you shot tons of them with a gun. Which one's better?
I think, I don't know, it just depends. I like being way up closer with the bow because you get way more in the action, so I'm gonna have to say bow.
Give me a horn and 1, 2, 3.
Exactly where I'd put it.
Dude, I'm surprised you went that far.
Yeah. So am I after that. I'm guessing.
I mean,
They're tougher than nails.
that's a wicked hit.
Downhill the whole way too, I guess, you know.
True. Nice and breezy right now. We got in clean. Heck of a spot. Again, we're close to cover. Early in the year, I love to be close to cover, so I'll bet we'll have some good tonight. We'll see some good deer, I bet.
It's gonna be the last one we take for a little bit pertaining to this piece of property. I want to give it a break. We've hunted it 3 different times now. See how the cards fall, and October's off to a good start.
I could not be more excited to have this deer. He has a ton of character. 65 degrees, bluebird day, dog and does, grunting right along. Thanks to my Phil for dragging my deer out. And thanks for watching Midwest Whitetail.
Generally, the beginning of October is a deer hunter's version of training camp, a time to work out the kinks, sharpen the details, and get everything in sync before the season truly hits full speed. But in years where cold fronts stack up, we're reminded why the off-season matters, and why readiness can't be left to time or luck. Though her favorite title will always be Mom, Kelly Scott showed up and showed out, reminding us just how much knowing the woods you hunt can pay off. Keyed in on one of nature's best food plots, she rolled the dice on a big woods acorn crop that had just started to fall and hit the jackpot. Even better, she captured it all on film by herself up until the moment her family joined for the memory. In similar fashion, Charlie's first bow buck is a reminder of what's possible when you set a goal and commit to the details, no matter your age. Sharing the moment with his two greatest mentors in the outdoors, October 6th will always stand among the young bow hunter's most treasured days. Inspired by Charlie's success, Drake and Justin look ahead, trying to pinpoint when their next moves will be made. With the immediate calendar filled with work, their hopes rest in each day's passing, leading to the increased dominance from one of the great bucks they know are roaming on the properties they hunt. With the youth hunting window officially closed until the later firearm seasons, Mike Reed now turns his focus to getting behind the bow and kicking his fall into gear. Chubbs Jr. is on the move, and Moss showed daylight activity on the same evening that saw so many big bucks on their feet. Put plainly, odds are good Mike will be in the woods sooner rather than later. Not even a week into the first month of a long season, the surge of daylight movement from normally nocturnal bucks proves this time of year demands attention. No doubt the long stretches of vacation are best saved for the weeks ahead, but when falling temperatures and rising barometric pressure line up, the hunts that follow can deliver just as much excitement as any November chase. And if the weatherman's prediction holds true, the next few days could rival what the Midwest Whitetail team has already experienced. With no rush to waste a single moment, our focus stays firmly planted where our boots are, making the most of these early season opportunities. Rooted or not, acting like the excitement for what comes next is containable would be as true as the 38-point buck your uncle promises he saw on his last outing. Sooner than later, these early season greens will transform right along with the behavior of the bucks we hunt. Chilly breezes through fresh leaves that mask the forest floor's sound will soon morph into the crunching echoes we've come to enjoy so much. With vacations planned, honey-do list checked off, and the countdown actively falling, there's no better time to be a deer hunter. After all, for only a few more weeks, we are chasing November.